Welcome back, everybody. So my next movie review for you is Shaun of the Dead. But once again, if you enjoy watching my reviews, if you could please like, share and subscribe to my channel, that would be absolutely fantastic and very, very much appreciated. So Shaun of the Dead was released on the 9th of April 2004. Its director was Edgar Wright. It was made on a budget of 6.1 million and made 30 million in the box office. The cast in this movie consists of Simon Pegg, Nick Frost, Kate Ashfield, Lucy Davis, Dylan Moran, plus many, many others. So, in this Shaun of the Dead movie, we follow a character called Shaun who is pretty much struggling through life. He's not really going anywhere. He is a salesman, he's struggling to keep his girlfriend, and his life is about to take a hugely dramatic turn when the world starts getting taken over by zombies. Now, what do I honestly think about this? I think this movie is extremely entertaining, and there's so much that I do enjoy about this movie. So the movie review is just about to come up right about now. So here we go, Shaun of the Dead movie review. Like I said at the beginning of this video, I get a lot of enjoyment from this movie and I have a lot of fun while watching this movie as well. For so many reasons. Yes, this is a horror comedy and I do generally like both elements. Yes, there's some good horror elements in this with some absolutely fantastic comedic moments. Throw in some performances from Simon Pegg and Nick Frost as well, just makes it for just even more of an entertaining watch. And there are so many reasons why I enjoy this. And the first reason is the way that this is shot. Edgar Wright's directing style is absolutely fantastic. Now, Edgar Wright and Simon Pegg both writ this movie as well, and Edgar Wright obviously directed it, and I just love his style of directing, especially in these Cornetto trilogy movies. So Shaun of the Dead, Hot Fuzz, and World's End as well. Absolutely brilliant. And World's End is the movie I'm going to be watching tonight, which I will be reviewing tomorrow. But this is absolutely fantastic. I really enjoy this. Some absolutely great scenes in here. There's some great tracking shots in here. Now, I have seen reviews on this in the past, and some people have said or have mentioned about the tracking shots in here. And yeah, when I looking at it yesterday, knowing that I watched these reviews quite a while ago, I watched this yesterday, and I have to agree the tracking shots are absolutely fantastic because you get two tracking shots in here. You get one where the zombie apocalypse is kind of happening, and Shaun is just walking through the street, minding his own business, completely oblivious to anything which is going on in the street. And to be fair, there's not a huge amount happening in this first tracking shot, but I absolutely loved what they did here. You get to see what he's doing, but you get to see what's going on around him in the world in this single tracking shot. I think it's absolutely fantastic. The later tracking shot, I should say, is very slightly different because the world has actually changed since the last time or the previous morning. I think what they did is absolutely fantastic because yes, you are following him, but you're also mainly watching everything that's going on around him in the background. Or it's absolutely brilliant, and knowing that he becomes like 3 feet away from a zombie at a certain point and he's completely oblivious, I just loved what they did. And there's also some fast-paced shots in here when they're making a plan. It's just the style of this movie I really enjoy. The way that this was made, the way that this was put together. So the storytelling in here is actually really good as well. I just love the style. I think it just really brings me in. It really sucks me in, and I think that's the reason why I enjoy his movie making style, because there's always something going on. There's always something happening, and it's just whether it's through camera work or something going on in the story, there's always something going on. Performances in here are absolutely fantastic. Now, I admit you don't get much character development to most of the characters in here. The main character development you do get, obviously, is from Shaun. You get a backstory to him, Well, he is, like I said at the beginning of this video, this person who is struggling through life. He's just winging his way through, and he needs a little bit of a kick, and he needs a little bit of a push. And a zombie apocalypse comes along, which gives him that kick and push to change who he is, to try and win back his girlfriend who he lost because he makes promises that he can't keep. He's just stuck in this rut. And I generally liked, yes, it's a zombie movie, but it's also about he's also trying to about making himself better. And I just loved all the elements in here. There are some serious tones in this, or some serious moments in this movie. Now, I don't want to give away too many spoilers, but to actually cover this subject, I'm actually going to have to get into them. So he loses his stepdad and he loses his mum. His mum's, obviously, death is a little bit more hard-hitting for him. And you really get, in this scene, a very, very big uprising of tension. And now if you've seen the movie, you know exactly the scene that I'm talking about. You do feel his emotion, you get behind him a lot, and you really do feel that. And yes, like I said, there's quite a few comedic moments in here, but that kind of side of this really just, you get behind him, because essentially they're just a fight for survival, and he is trying to protect all of his friends and family at the same time. And when they start to lose them, another spoiler, you get behind it. You really do. It's a very, very good balance of comedy, serious moments, and horror in here, and I think they nailed it in every single way. The main comedic element in this movie comes from Nick Frost, who plays Ed in here. He does have some quite dark comedic moments in here, and I absolutely love him. And the reason why I love him is he actually reminds me of one of my own mates. One of my mates is exactly like that. There is no F's given in any way, shape, or form. Say what he wants to say. There's extreme ways of doing stuff, even like just blasting a car around, or just certain elements. I think his influence, or his element into this movie, is brilliant all the way through. Now, I can't review this movie without actually going into depth with like the horror side of this, and I think it's absolutely brilliant in every single way. There is something about watching a horror movie, or a zombie horror movie, which I really enjoy. And I always want to see somebody getting eaten, bitten in the neck, arms getting ripped off, or arms getting bitten, or just completely overwhelmed by zombies and being ripped apart. It just makes it for a really entertaining watch. And this is the whole beauty of zombie movies for me, is to see that kind of side of it. Okay, that may sound a little bit sadistical and all that kind of stuff, but essentially the whole premise of a zombie movie is people eating, or zombies eating people, and that's kind of what I want to see. And in this movie they do it in an absolutely fantastic way, which just makes it even more enjoyable for me. Like I said, the balance of the horror, the comedy, the emotional side of this, or the emotional kind of moments in this is a very good balance, which just makes this a very entertaining watch. Yes, there is quite a few Easter eggs in here. There's a lot of foreshadowing in here, which I'm not going to go into depth with, just in case you haven't seen it. But if you pay attention to it, you'll see it. And there's a lot of Easter eggs. There's a lot of homages to certain other zombie movies as well that have been released in the past before this movie as well, which just make it even more entertaining. And like I said, all performances in here are actually pretty good. See, performances wise, it's always going to be Simon Pegg, Nick Frost in here, but every single performance, or every single character in here add their element to the movie. Okay, I admit some of these people are not necessarily needed in this movie, and they are cannon fodder for a certain point in this movie. You just don't know when. You're waiting for it, and when it does happen, it is a little bit brutal in certain ways, I have to be honest, which just makes it just that little bit more entertaining. And even if you took away the comedy side of this would be a very good zombie movie, in my personal opinion. It's really enjoyable, and I get a lot of fun. Have a lot of fun, and I get a lot of entertainment from watching this. So if I was to rate this, I would just give it a 9 out of 10. It's as simple as that. I get a lot of enjoyment, I get a lot of fun from this. I highly recommend this movie if you haven't seen it. If you have seen this movie, you should know the bits that I'm talking about. I generally enjoy it. I do feel very entertained at the end of this movie, and I've watched this movie I don't know how many times, and I still get exactly the same amount of enjoyment, which is always good for me. So on that note, please tell me what you think. Put it in the comments down below. As normal, I hope you all have a great rest of the day, whatever you're doing. Please take care, and goodbye.